director of the play this evening.
I'm Allison, a drama student and the assistant director of the play this evening.
I'm Brain, also a drama student and the technical director of the play.
We would like to start this evening by acknowledging the land. We are incredibly grateful for the land on which we work, live, and play here at the Scarlet Drama Department. In the spirit of respect and reconciliation, I would like to recognize that we are located in the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. We acknowledge that we live, work, and play in the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, including the Siksika, the Kainai, the Piikani people, as well as the Tsuut'ina, the Stoney Nakoda First Nations, the Métis Nation Region 3, and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region.
Welcome to UP Scarlet's production of Romeo and Juliet. Auditions and casting began early September, and ever since then, the casting crew has spent countless hours rehearsing and preparing. The cast has been working very hard, perfecting their roles, and because we thought learning one Shakespearean role was just too easy, we decided to make them learn a second role in case of illness.
All technical aspects of the show, everything you see here, has been designed, built, and is operated by our talented student design teams working in the booth. Lights, props, the set, all the way to the top of every column. The sound design, and each costume worn in the show today was dreamt up, designed, and brought to life by over 30 student technicians and designers, our wonderful stage management team, and the assistant to the technical director, Rogan.
We've also been very lucky to work with two industry professionals for this show. Our fight choreographer, Jeff Olnick, taught us how to safely act with weapons and purpose. And our intimacy director, Anastasia Sintamant, taught us how to safely present more intimate moments on stage. A huge thank you to them.
I should also thank Willow Park School, Nichols School, Lord Beaverbrook, Centennial High School, Crescent Heights High School, local improv company, the Pinkenauts, quite a few students, the costume shop, and at least 4 staff members from Scarlet for the added support in the form of lights, speakers, and a whole bunch of other stuff we used in the show tonight. Without the endless support of our community, we would have never been able to pull this one off. So thank you.
Finally, the show this evening is 2 hours long, and there is no intermission. Both entrances there are used by actors, so if you needed to duck out for any sort of emergency moment, please obviously walk around the stage, and there's an exit there that you could use. If you wouldn't mind now turning off your cell phones, making sure your cell phones do not ring or make any noise. They didn't have mobile phones in Renaissance Italy, and honestly, all of the problems in the play would totally not have happened if they could just text each other, so suspend your disbelief and silence your phones. Thank you. Also, please know we've already taken a whole series of excellent photos of the show that families will have access to. And this evening, we're joined by our videographer team, who will be recording a performance in case there's a family member who could not make it to see the show, so you can show it to them. So please, because of those reasons, do not take any photos or video yourself during the show. Thank you so much. We have one more show remaining, which is tomorrow night, our closing night. If you'd like to join us on that evening and see it from a different angle, sit on the opposite side, we would love to have you. Thank you so much for coming. We're very, very excited to present our play to you this evening. Please enjoy Romeo and Juliet.
pair of star-crossed lovers take their lives.
Whose misadventured, piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-march love,
And the continuance of their parents' rage, which, for their children's end, naught could remove.
It is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage,
The which with you with patient ears attend.
but here shall miss
our toil shall strive as men.
Gregory, oh my word, will not carry coals.
No, for then we should be colliers.
And we being collar will draw.
Aye, while you live, draw your neck out the collar.
I strike quickly being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
The dog of the house of Montague moves me.
The quarrel is between our masters and us, their men.
'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I fought with the men, I will be cruel with the maids and cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt.
Draw that tool. Here comes two of the house of the Montagues.
My naked weapon is out.
Quarrel, I will back thee.
Let us take the law of our side. Let them begin.
I will frown as I pass them by, and let them take it how they list.
Nay, as they dare. I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
But do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side if I say I? No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir.
No, sir.
If you do, sir, I before you. I serve as good a man as thee.
No better.
Well, sir.
Say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw if you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashbuckler.
Samson!
Hark, fools! Put up thy sword, you don't know what you do.
What art thou drawn when these are the times? Directly bend roll, they'll look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword or manage to part these men with me.
What? Drawn? And talk of peace? I hate the word as I hate hell. All Montagues and thee. And at thee, coward! My sword, I say!
Thou art villain, Capulet. Hold me not. Let me go.
Thou shalt not stir a foot to seek a foe.
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, on pain of torture, from those bloody hands throw your mistempered weapons to the ground. And hear the sentence of your moved friends. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word by thee, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. At this time, all the rest depart away. Once more, on pain of death, do all men depart.
Oh, where's Romeo? Saw you him today. Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
My noble uncle, an hour before the worship sun peered forth the golden window of the east. A troubled mind drave me to walk abroad. So early walking did I see your son. I made toward him, but he was ware of me and stole into the covert of the wood.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting a fresh morning dew.
Dear sir, do you know the cause?
I neither know know it nor can learn it.
See where he comes, so please you step aside. I shall know his grievance or be much denied.
I'll away.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But new strike 9.
I mean, sad hours seem long.
Tell me, what sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out.
Of love?
Out of her favor where I am in love.
Tell me in sadness, who is that you love?
What shall I groan and tell thee?
Rome, I know, but sadly, tell me who.
In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
Ain't so near one, I suppose you love.
A right good markman, and she's fair, I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz as soon as hit.
And in that hit you miss, she'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Diane's wit, and strong proof of chastity while armed from love's weak, childish bow she lives unharmed.
That she hath sworn she shall still have chased.
She hath, and in that sparing is huge waste.
Be ruled by me, forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
Farewell. Thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine, or else die in debt.
But Montague is bound as well as I in penalty alike, and 'tis no part, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis that you have been at odds for so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying o'er what I have said before, my daughter is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 18 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we think her right to be abroad.
Younger than to your happier mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. But woke her, gentle Paris, yet her heart, my will to her consent is but in part, and she agreed, within her scope of choice, lies my consent and fair according voice. Tonight I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I've invited many a guest, such as I love, and you, one more, most welcome, makes my number more. Come, go with me, go, sirrah, trudge about through fair world, and find those persons out whose names are written there, and to them say, my house is welcome on their pleasure stay.
Find them out whose names are written here?
I must have learned in good time.
Your streets were paved with love, your skies were blue, hard to lose. I walked the streets in fear, I watched the streets with tears.
Tough man, one fire burns out another's burning. One's pain is lessened by another's anguish.
God, I'm burning, sir. Can you read?
I, if I know the letters in the language.
When you say honestly and best, you marry.
Hey, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino, his wife and daughters, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, my uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, Livia, Signor Valentino, his cousin Tybalt, and lively Helena, a fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Supper to our house. My master is the great rich Capulet, and if he be not of the house of the Montagues, I pray, come and put you on the fly.
The Capulets host a supper this night, and at the same ancient feast of Capulets sups the fair Rosaline, whom thou so lovest. Go thither, and with unattainted eyes, compare her face to some that I shall show, and I'll make thee think thy swan a crow.
I shall go along. No such life be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Will. Nurse, thou knowst my daughter is of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour. Come latest eve shall she be 18, that shall she marry. I remembers well, thou wast the prettiest babe e'er I nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Mary, that Mary is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor I dream not of.
An honor.
Well, think of marriage now. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus, then in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for their love.
A man, young lady, such a man. As of all the world, why, he's made of wax.
World, summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, a flower, in faith, very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read over the volume of young Paris's face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. So shall you share in all that he doth possess, by having him making yourself no less.
No less, nay bigger, women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris's love?
I'll look to like if looking like you move, but no more deep wide and dark mine eyes, and your consent gives strength to make it fly.
The guests are come, supper served up. You called, my young lady asked for. The nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity, I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet, the county stays.
Go, girl, seek happy nights unto happy days.
With words of fire, she'll make you small. With eyes of sorrow, she'll make you tall. With words of fire.
Give me the torch. I am not for this ambling, being but heavy. I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I. Believe me, you have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead. So stakes me to the ground. I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar above a common bound.
Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, you be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, you be loved down.
And me meanwhile going to this mass, but 'tis no way to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamed a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
And men asleep when they do dream things true.
Oh, did I see Queen Mab hath been with you? She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a little team of atomies athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, and in this state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. O'er courtiers' knees you dream on courtesy straight. O'er lawyers' fingers you straight dream of fees. O'er ladies' lips you straight on kisses dream. Sometime she driveth over a soldier's neck, and then he dreams of cutting foreign throats. This is the head when maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them first to bear, making them good women of carriage. This is she.
Peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talkest of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle
brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin as substance of the air, and more inconsistent than the wind.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall come too late.
I fear too early. For mine must give some consequence, and hanging in the stars shall greedily begin our fearful date with this night of and expire to my despised life, close my breast for some fly form of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail, on, lusty gentlemen.
Strike drum!
Where's Puffhead? He helped not to take away. Away with the door, remove the door cover. Look to the place. Good thou, save me from the sword key, and thou lovest me like the Lord of the Puffhead. Aye, boy, ready. You're looked for and called for, asked for and sought for, in the great chamber.
We cannot be here and there at once. Cheerly, boy, if you rest a while.
Welcome, gentlemen. I see today that I have more advisor to tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear. Such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play. A hall, give room and foot it, girls. More light, you knaves, and turn the tables up and quench the fire. The room has grown too hot.
What lady is that? Which governors the hand around her neck?
I know not, sir.
Oh, she doth taste the torches to room right. Did my heart love till now? I swear at sight, for in there such beauty till this night.
This fighter's voice should be a Montague. A villain covered with an antique face to flee and scorn our solemnity. Now, for the stock and honor of my kin, I strike him dead, I hold it not a sin!
I have no kinsman, wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe. A villain come hither in spite to scorn our solemnity this night.
Content thee, gentle cousin, let him alone. To say truth, Rome brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not, for the wealth of all the town here in my house, do him disparagement.
It fits when such a villain is a guest, I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. Go to, am I the master here or you? Go to, you'll make a mutiny among my guests.
Why, uncle? 'Tis a shame.
Go to, go to. You are a saucy boy! Be quiet, or more light, for shame I'll make you quiet. What cheer me, my heart!
I will withdraw the disintrusion. No seeming sweet, convert to bitter gall!
If I could fame with mine worthiest hand, this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims where to stand, to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong. Your hand too much. Which mannerly devotion shows in this? For saints of hands that pilgrims' hands do touch. And palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints' lips and holy palmers too?
I, pilgrim,
Lips that they must use in prayer. Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray. Grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not when prayer's effect I take. Thus my lips by yours, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they took?
Sin from thy lips? Oh, trespass free the urge. Give me my sin again.
Kiss by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary Bachelor, her mother is a lady in the house.
She is a Capulet. Oh, dear count, my life is my foe's death. Wait! enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate? Too early seen unknown and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me, that I must love a loathed enemy.
Anon! Come, let's away. Strangers are all gone.
Strolling along, minding my own business. Well, there goes a girl and a half. Stop it going up and down.
Can I go forward when my hurt is here? Oh, turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo! Romeo! Humors, madman, passion, lover. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her high forehead and scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh. He heareth not, he moveth not, he stirreth not. He hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with a humorous knight. Romeo, good night. Come, shall we go? Go then, for it is in vain to seek him here means not to be found.
He jests with scars and or felt a wound. It's soft. What light through yonder window breaks? Is it the east and Juliet is the sun? Oh, arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who's already sick and pale with grief. But thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Oh, it is my lady, oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. Ay me, she speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel.
O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more? Shall I speak of this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call rose by any other name that smells sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thyself. Call me but love and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I will never be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreened at night stumblest on my counsel?
By a name, I know not how to tell thee who I am. For my name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, for it is an enemy to thee.
Art thou not Romeo? And a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death considering who thou art. If any of my kinsmen were to find thee here.
By love's light wings did I approach these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. Love does what dares love attempt, therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me and but they'll love me, let them find me here.
How foundest thou out this place?
By love, the first thing prompted me to inquire.
Dost thou love me? O gentle Romeo, pronounce it faithfully.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon I swear that tips of silver all these
Oh,
fruit
swear not
trees-
by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
Well, then what shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden. Good night, good night. As sweet rest and repose come to thy heart, as thou within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine?
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
Yes!
I hear some noise within. Dear love, I do. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little. I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night, I'm afeard. Being a night, all this but a dream, too flattering and sweet to be substantial.
Dear words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
Anon, good nurse! But if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam!
By and by I come! To cease thy suit, and lead me to my grief, tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love, go toward love, as schoolboys from their books. But love, toward love, as schoolboys with heavy looks.
Hist, Romeo, hist!
It is my soul that calls upon my name.
Romeo,
My love.
at what o'clock tomorrow shall I send thee?
At the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow. I shall say good night till be morrow.
Sleep dwells in thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep in peace so sweet to rest? Hence will I to my ghostly father's cell, for his help to crave, and my dear have to tell.
Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities. For not so vile on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor not so good, but strained from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself turns vice, being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action, dignified. Within the infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence, and medicine power. For this, being smelt, with that part choose each part, being tasted. Ooh. Slaves, all says this with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still, in man as well as her, grace and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death son, it argues a distempered head so soon to be a good morrow to thy bed. Therefore, thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused by some distemperature. Or, if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
That last was true, the sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. What's that with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father, no. I have forgot that name, and that name's Will.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been, then?
I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me. That's by me wounded both remedies within thy help and holy physic lies.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined, save with them must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed him in exchange of vow. I'll tell those we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us. Today.
Holy Saint Francis. What changes here? Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes.
Thou chidest me off for loving Rosaline?
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine. But come, young waverer, come, go with me. In this one respect I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I still not have in haste.
Wisely and slow. They stumble, but run fast.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's. I spoke with his man. Tybalt, the kingsman of old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Alas, poor Romeo. He's already dead, stabbed with the white wench's black eye. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why? What is Tybalt?
More than a prince of caps, I can tell you. Oh, he is the courageous captain of compliments.
Here comes Romeo. Here comes Romeo.
Signor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation to your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Hiding good Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case a man is showing courtesy.
That's as much to say. Such a case as yours constrains a man to bow and command.
Meaning, to curtsy?
Thou hast most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Why? Is not this better than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo.
Stop there, stop there.
Here's goodly Peter.
Peter, anon, my fan.
Good Peter doth hide her face for the fans of fair face.
Good morrow, gentlemen.
God yea, good day, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good day?
'Tis no less, I can tell you, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you, what man are you?
When, gentlewoman, that God hath made himself to mar.
Gentlemen, do any of you know where I may find the young Romeo?
I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper.
What she bade me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell ye, if he should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore truly it were an ill thing to deal double with her, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. Bid her devise. If means to come to shrift this afternoon, and there she shall, at Friar Lawrence's cell, be shrived and married.
This afternoon, sir? Well, she shall be there.
Farewell. Be trust you no quit thy pains. Farewell. Oh, commend me to thy mistress.
God in heaven bless thee.
Commend me to thy lady.
Ah, 1,000 times. Peter, come on. Peter, take my fan and go before the case.
At the hour of 9 did I send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Had she affections and warm, youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my love and his to me. Oh God, she comes. Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send my man away.
Peter, stay the gate.
Now, nurse. Oh Lord, why lookest thou sad?
I'm a-weary, give me leave a while. Fie, my bones ache, what a jaunt have I had.
I would thou hast my bones, and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak, good nurse, speak.
Haste with what haste? Canst thou not stay a while? Do not see I am out of breath.
How art thou out of breath? If thou hast breath, to state to me that thou art out of breath. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Lord, how my head aches! What a head have I! The beats were fallen 20 pieces, my back on the other side. Oh, my back, my back! Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
Faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. But sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and I warrant a virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where's my mother? Why, she is within, where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is thy mother? Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Hie you to church. I must another way, to fetch a ladder by which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. Go, out to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Oh, hide a high fortune. Honest nurse, farewell.
Peter.
So smile the heavens upon this holy hour, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But come whatso can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in a triumph die, like fire and powder, which as they kiss, consume. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Here comes the lady.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
Juliet. If the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, and sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear account.
Conceit, more rich in matter than in words. Rights of substance, not of ornament. They be but beggars that can count their worth, but my true love has grown to such excess, I cannot sum up some of half my wealth.
Lad, come with me, and we will make short work. For by our leaves you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporate two in one.
Why, thou hast quarreled with a man half a hair more, or hair less in his beard, than thou hast. Thou hast quarreled with a man for coughing in the street because he had wakened thy dog that lay asleep in the sun. And yet, thou wilt hear me for quarreling.
By my head, here come the Capulets.
By my heel, I care not.
Gentlemen, good den, a word with one of you.
But one word with one of us? Couplet is something. Make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me up to that, sir. You will give me an occasion.
Can you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest Romeo.
Consort? What? Doesn't make us minstrels? And make minstrels of us? What do you nothing but discord? Here's my fiddlestick. Here's what shall make you dance. Sounds consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw unto some private place and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure eye.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
And I'll be hanged, sir, if you wear your livery.
Romeo, the hate I bear thee can afford no better word than this, thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain I am none, therefore, farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boys, this shall not excuse the injuries thou hast caused me, therefore turn and draw.
I do protest. I never injured thee, but love thee more than thou canst devise. Till thou shalt know the reason of my love, and so, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as my own, be satisfied.
Oh, come, dishonorable, vile submission. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives. Plague on both your houses! Why the devil you came between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
How mean some husband builder I shall faint. Plague on both your houses! They have made worms me to me. I have it and soundly do your houses.
This gentleman, the prince's new ally, my very friend, hath got his moral hurt on my behalf. My reputation stained by Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that an hour hath been my kinsman.
Romeo, brave Mercutio is dead. That gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds, which too untimely did here scorn the earth.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe. Others must end.
Here comes thy furious Tybalt back again.
Tybalt, take the villain back again, that light thou gavest me. For my Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
The wretched boy that did consort with him here shall be with him hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo, away, be gone. The citizens are up and Tybalt here slain. Stand not amazed, the prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence away, be gone.
Oh, unfortunate fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that murderer. Which way ran he?
There lies that Tybalt.
Up, sir, go with me. I charge thee in the prince's name. Away!
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
My noble prince, I can discover all, the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo, who killed thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt?
My cousin? Oh, my brother's child! Oh, prince! Oh, cousin! Husband! Oh, the blood is spilled, oh, my dear kinsman! Prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague! Oh, cousin! Cousin!
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague! Affection makes him false, he speaks not true. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him, he slew Mercutio. Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo, Prince. He was Mercutio's friend. The fault concludes but what the law should end. The life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase our abuses. Therefore, use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else, when he's found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body, and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
Come, gentle night, come, loving black-browed night. Give me my Romeo, and when he should die, take him and cut him out into little stars, that he will make the face of heaven so fine, that all the world will be in love with night, and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of love, but not possessed it, and though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. Now, nurse, what news? I mean, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Ah, well a day. He's dead! He's dead! He's dead! We are undone, lady. We are undone. Alack the day. He's gone. He's killed. He's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Oh, Romeo. Romeo, whoever would have thought it? Romeo!
What devil art thou that dost torment me thus? Hath Romeo slain himself? Romeo, come forth. Come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes.
Oh, break my heart. Heartbreaker, break it once.
Oh, Tybalt. Tybalt, the best friend I had. Oh, courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that ever I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead? My dear loved cousin and my dear lord?
Father, what news?
I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment is vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he's banished.
Banishment. Be merciful, say death, for exile hath more terror in his look much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Oh God, did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. It did. Alas, the day it did.
Oh, serpent heart hid with a flowering face. Was ever a book contain such vile matters so fairly bound? Or that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace? Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona's walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banishment is banished from this world, and world's exile
It's death. Oh, deadly sin. Oh, rude unthankfulness. Thy fault our law calls death. But the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
There is no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. All perjured, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame.
is torture and not mercy.
Will thou speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? My husband lives that Tybalt would have slain. Tybalt's dead that would have slain my husband. Some word worser than Tybalt's death that murdered me. For Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That banished is father, mother, Romeo, Tybalt, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, no measure bound in that word's death. No words can that boast sound.
Heaven is here, where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing live here in heaven and may look upon her, but Romeo may not. He is banished, and thou sayest that exile is not death?
Hie to your chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I plot well where he is. Hark ye, your Romeo will be here at night. I'll to him. He is hid at Lorne's cell.
Oh, find him. Give this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Thou fond madman, hear me but speak a word.
Thou canst not speak if thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, and Alba but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me, and like me banished. Then mightest thou speak. Then mightest thou tear thy hair, and lay upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, one knocks. Good Romeo, hide thyself. Hark how they knock. Who's there? Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while, stand up. Run to my study. By and by.
I come. Whence came you? What's your will?
Let me in, and thou shalt know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome, then.
Oh, holy friar. Oh, tell me, holy friar. Where's my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There, on the ground, with his own tears made drunk.
Ah, he's in my mistress's case. Even so lies she, blubbering and weeping and blubbering. Stand up, and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand.
Nurse, speakest thou of Juliet? How is with her? Where is she? How doth she? What says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, but weeps and falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then down falls again.
Tell me, friar, tell me, what vile partisan enemy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack this hateful mansion.
Hold thy desperate hand. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself? What rouse thee, man?
Thy Juliet is alive, for whose sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy too. The law that threatens death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. Pack of blessings lights upon thy back. Go, get thee to thy love, as was decreed. But look thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live a while till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon from the prince, and call thee back with 1,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation.
Nurse, come here to thy lady. Bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes him apt unto. Romeo is coming.
My lord, I will tell my lady will come.
Do so, and bid my suit prepare to chide.
Here, sir. A ring she bid me give you, sir. Hie you, make haste, for it grows very late.
That a joy past joy calls out on me, for a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we've had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly. And so did I. Well, we were born to die. 'Tis very late. She'll not come down tonight.
These times go, for no time to lose. Adam, good night. Remember to my daughter.
I will. I know her mind tomorrow. Tonight she is mute up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris's love, and bid her, mark you me, on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday! Well, Wednesday is too soon. O Thursday let it be. O Thursday tell her she shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I would if Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone then. O Thursday be it then. Go you to her ere you go to bed. Prepare her against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Light to my chamber, ho! Before me it is so very, very late that we may call it early by and by. Good night.
Won't thou be gone so? It is not yet your day. It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn. No nightingale. Look, love. What envious trees do lace the severing clouds in yonder east? I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Dawn light is not daylight, I know it I. It is the meteor the sun exhales to be to thee this night a torch-bearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore, stay yet. Thou needest not be gone.
Oh, let me be ta'en. Let me be put to death. I am content, so wilt have it so. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
It is. My kindness be gone away. It was the lark that sang so out of tune. Will now be gone. More light and light grows.
More light and light, more dark and darker woes.
Madam, your mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary. Look about.
Then let life out and let day in. Farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
Art thou gone so? Love, Lord, I husband, friend. I must hear from thee every day within the hour. For in a minute there are many days.
Farewell. I will admit an opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all these sorrows will serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
Oh, I have an ill-divining soul. Methinks I see thee now that thou art below, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou lookest pale.
Trust me, love. In my eyes, so do you. Dry sorrow drinks my blood. Adieu.
Holy daughter, are you up? Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? What, will thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore, have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet, let me weep for such a feeling loss.
Well, girl, thou weepst not so much for his death, as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Aye, from the reach of these my hands would none but I might avenge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Then weep no more. But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes in such a beautiful time. What are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, has thrown out a sudden day of joy that thou expectst not, nor I looked not for.
And, madam, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn. The gallant young and noble gentlemen, the county Paris, at St. Peter's Church shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
By St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. Madam, I pray thee, tell my lord and father, I will not marry yet. And when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself. See how he will take it at your hands.
How now, a conduit girl, what, still in tears? How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, but she will none. She gives you thanks. And with the fool were married to her grave.
How, will she none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count her blessed? Unworthy as she is that we should be brought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How now, sharp logic! What is this? I thank you, and proud, and yet I thank you not, and not proud. Mistress Minion, you, get thee to St. Peter's Church on Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither!
Fine, are you mad? Good father, I beseech you on my knees. Hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child. But now, I see that this one is one too much, and that we have a curse in having her.
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
Peace, you mumbling fool! Utter your brownie or a glass of bowl, for here we need it not.
You are too hot.
God's bread, it makes me mad. Tents are all not wed. I cannot love. I pray you, pardon me. But as I'm not wed, I'll pardon you. Grace where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it. Think on it. I do not use to jest. Thursday is near, lay hand on heart and thighs. And be you mine, I'll give you to my friend. And be you not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for by my soul I'll never acknowledge thee, nor what is mine should never do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
Oh, sweet mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week. Or, if thou wilt not, make my bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I am done with thee.
Oh God, oh nurse, how shall this be prevented? Hast thou no word of joy? So comfort her.
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he never come back to challenge you. Or, if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case stands as it now doth, I think it best you marry the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dishclout to him. An eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my heart, I think you are happy in this second match. Boarding sails your first. Or, if it did not, your first is dead. Or tourist good he were, is living here and you no use of him.
Speakest from thy heart?
And from my soul too. Or else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in and tell my father I am gone, having displeased him to Lawrence's cell, to make confession and be absolved.
Marry will, and this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation! Almost wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with the same tongue which ye have praised him with above compare so many thousand times? to know his remedy. If all else fails, myself have power to die. On Thursday, sir, the time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
You see, you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course. I like it not.
Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death. Therefore, little talk of love. Privyness smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrow so much sway. And in his wisdom haste our marriage to stop the inundation of her tears. Now you know the reason for this haste?
Why would I you not why it should be slowed? Look, sir, here comes the lady.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
Well, maybe must be love on Thursday next.
What must be shall be. That's a certain text.
Come he's making confession to his father.
To answer that, I shall confess to you.
Not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will ye, I'm sure you love me.
Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now? My leisure, sir, and your pensive daughter now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early will I rouse ye. Till then, adieu. Keep this holy kiss.
Oh, come weep with me. Past hope, past help, past cure. Juliet, I already know thy grief. Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do but call my resolution wise. And with this knife I'll help it presently. Be not so long to speak, I long to die. If what thou speakest speak not of remedy. Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope, which craves as desperate an execution as it is desperate that which we would prevent. If, rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death, to chide away the shame that compassed with death himself to escape from it. And, if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy. Oh, bid me leap rather than marry Paris, off the battlements of yonder tower. Hold then, go home. Be merry. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou off, when, presently, through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. Each part, deprived of supple government, shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death, and in this borrowed likeness of shock death thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awaken, as from a pleasant sleep. Now, in the morning, when the bridegroom comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there, art thou dead! Then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes uncovered in the mire, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift. And hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking. And that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua. Now, this shall free thee from thy prison shame. If no inconstant toy, nor womanish fear, abate thy valor in the acted. Oh, give me, Tell me not of fear. Bold, get you gone. Be strong and prosperous with this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua, with my letters to thy lord. Love give me strength, and strength help afford. Farewell, dear father.
The plastic reaches there, I'm hungry reaches there. You see the leeches there, you see the leeches there. There's so much shallow there, it's all so shallow there. And then Los Angeles, please, and then Los Angeles, please. The trash the monster down, it's Scott's crosses on. He's never seen the shit from all of Graham bits.
So many guests invited here are it. Sirrah, go hire me 20 cunning cooks.
You shall have none ill, sir, for I'll try if they can lick their fingers.
How canst thou try them so?
'Tis an ill cook that cannot lick his own fingers. Therefore, he that cannot lick his fingers goes not with me.
Go, be gone. We shall be much unfurnished for this time. What, is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Aye, pursue.
He may do some good on her. Peevish self-willed harlotry it is.
See where she comes from trick. Marry her.
Why, how now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadding?
Where I have learned me to repent of the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by holy warrants to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforward, I am ever ruled by you.
Go tell the county Paris of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There is time enough.
Go, nurse, go with her. We shall go to church tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night.
Tush, I will stir about. And I will go and chat with the county Paris. I think that this is a good thing.
Aye, those attires are best. But, gentle nurse, I pray thee, leave me to myself tonight.
What? Are you busy home? Need you my help?
No, madam, we have called such necessaries as are behoveful for our state tomorrow. So, please you, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I'm sure you have your hands full all in this so-some business.
Good night. Get thee to bed, and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows if we shall ever meet again. I have a faint, cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come, Vital. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No. No. This shall forbid it. Lie thou there. Romeo, I come. This do I drink to thee. Come, stir, stir, stir. The second cock hath crowed, the curfew bell hath rung. 'Tis 3 o'clock. Look to the main meats, good Angelica. Spare hot for the cloth.
Get you to bed, Faith. She'll be sick tomorrow for this night's watching.
The county Paris said he would be here with music straight. And I hear him near. Nurse! Wife! What nurse, I say? Go to Juliet and trim her up. I will chat with the county Paris. Hi! Make haste! Make haste, I say!
mistress. Juliet, I ward her sheep. Why, lad, my lady. Fine, you slug of bed. Why, love, I say. Madam, sweetheart. Why, bride. What? Not a word? Take your penny's worth now. Sleep for a week for this night's watching. The Count's parents hath set up his rest, that you shall rest but little. God forgive me. Mary and a man, how sound asleep is she. What? Dressed and in your clothes and down again. Needs must wake you. Lady, lady. Alas. Alas. Help! Help, my lord, my lady, help!
What is the matter?
Look! Look! Oh, heavy day!
Oh me, my child, my only life. Revive, look up, or I will die with thee. Help, help, call help!
For shame, bring Juliet forth. Her lord is come.
She's dead! She's dead!
Alack the day, she's dead, she's dead, she's dead.
Ha! Let me see her. Out, alas, she's cold. Her blood is settled and her joints are stiff. Life and these lips have long been separated. Come, Lizzie, bride ready to go to church? Ready to go, but never to return. O son, the night before thy wedding day hath death lain with thy wife.
But one,
Have I thought long to see this morning's face? And now they give me a sight such as this?
Accursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful thing. Most miserable hour that ever time saw. In fasting labor of pilgrimage.
but one poor and loving child, but one thing to rejoice and solace in, and cruel death hath catched it from my sight.
O child, my soul and not my child. Thou art dead. Alack, my child is dead, and with my child my joys are buried.
Peace. For shame. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid, and now heaven hath all, and all the better it is for the maid. Now come, dry up your tears, and stick your rosemary on this fair course, and as the custom is, in all her best array, bear her to church.
All things that we ordained festival turn from their office to black funeral. Our bridal flowers serve for a buried corse. All things change them to the contrary.
Sir, go you in, and madam, go with him. And go, Sir Paris. Everyone prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave.
be well?
Then all is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body lays in Capel's monument, and her immortal heart with angels lives. Sorrow laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you.
Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars! Thou knowest my lodging. Give me ink and paper, and hire both horses. I will hence tonight.
Have patience, my lord. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Tush, thou art deceived. Leave me, and do the thing I bid thee do. Hasten! Are there no letters to me from the friar?
No, my lord.
Never mind. Get thee gone, and have those horses. I will be with thee straight. Oh, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter the thoughts of desperate men. Do you remember an apothecary, and whereabouts he dwells, in tattered weeds, overrunning boughs, comely simples, meager were his looks. And to myself I said, that if a man did need a poison now, whose sin is present death of Mantua, here lives a Kate of French would sell him. What ho, apothecary!
You called?
Come hither, man. I see that thou art, well, poor. Hold. It was 40 ducats. Let me have a drop of poison. Such soon speeding gear that it'll disperse itself through all the veins that the life-weary taker may fall dead.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
What? Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness and fearest to die? The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it, and take this.
My poverty, but not my will consents.
I pay thy poverty, not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
Here's thy gold. Worst poisons to men's souls. Farewell. Buy food and get thyself in flesh. Come cordial in that poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there I must use thee.
Holy Franciscan Friar, Brother Ho!
This seems to be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo?
Going to find a barefoot brother out, one of our order, to associate me. We're in the city visiting the sick. In finding him, the surgeons of the town, suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that by speed to Mantua was there stayed.
Who bear my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again. Nor get a messenger to bring it thee, so fearful were they of infection.
Unhappy fortune, by my brotherhood, the letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence. Get an iron crow and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. Within 3 hours will Fair Juliet awake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo had had no notice of these accidents. But I will write again to Mantua and keep her in my cell till Romeo is come. Oh, poor living corpse close in a dead man's tomb.
What's gonna happen when the sky is white? What will you do when the sea comes
Nightly. Just treat that gift from me.
Will you signal something doth approach? Give me the light upon thy life, I charge thee. Where'er thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course.
I will go and leave you be.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Take thou that. Live, be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow.
I'll hide myself hereabouts. This looks like Fearman's intentions. I doubt.
Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than that? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey, and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed. And therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. I do beseech thee, youth, put none other sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Be gone.
I do defy thy contradictions and apprehend thee a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Have at thee, boy.
Coward!
Let me peruse this face. Mercutius, kingsman, noble county Paris. I will bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave? A lantern, sought a youth. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes us both feasting presence full of light. Lie thou there by a dead man entered. Oh, my love, my wife. Death, that hath sucked the honey of thy breath, hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, but thus pale flag does not advance there. Oh, Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Should I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean, abhorred monster keeps thee in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim light depart again. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace, and lips will use the doors of breath. Seal with a righteous kiss. A dateless bargain to engrossing death. Here's to my love. O true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss. I die.
St. Francis be my speed. How often I have my old feet stumble to grace. Romeo?
haply some poison yet doth hang on them, to make dye with the restorative. Thy lips are warm.
Lead, boy. Which way?
Yea, noise. Then I'll be brief. O happy dagger, this is thy sheath. There rest, and let me die. There's the place. There, the torch doth burn. Search about the churchyard. Pitiful sight. Here lies the county, slain, and Juliet bleeding, warm and newly dead, who hath lain these 2 days buried. Go, tell the prince. Run to the Capulets, raise up the Montagues.
Here's Romeo's man. We found him lurking by the churchyard.
Hold him here in safety till the prince come hither.
Here's a friar that trembles, sighs, and weeps as he was coming from the churchyard side.
A great suspicion. Stay the friar too.
What misadventure is so early up that calls a person for our morning's rest?
What should it be that they so shriek abroad?
The people in the street cry Romeo, some Paris and some Juliet, and all around with open outcry toward our monument.
What fear is this which startles in our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the Count of Paris, slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new kill.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Oh heavens! Oh wife! Look how our daughter bleeds.
Oh me, the sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir more early down.
Wilt thou untaught? What manners is in this? Press before our father to an early grave.
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, so we can clear these ambiguities, and note their spring, their head, their true descent. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost the grace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Oh brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, there shall be no figure that such greatly said, as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's by his ladies lie, or sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning what it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show its head. Go hence to have more to talk of these sad things. Some will be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than that of Juliet and her Romeo.